before we go back to you to talk about the black gold. And as I said, the first of them is going to be Euro Swissy. Now, as I said, with Julian, and Julian pointed out, I think it was actually the 1st of January, if I'm not mistaken, where this bar formed. And as I said, it's about 3,500 pips over a month, but that doesn't really tell the whole story. The whole story was that flash crash was just immediate, happened in a period of hours. And we went to 2,500 pips or something of that nature in that very, very short period of time. That to me is very significant. Not so much where the low is, but where it closed. That was deemed, I guess, at the time as fair value for that period of time. And we have only crept below, that's 2015, we've only crept below that once since. And that was, 4 weeks ago? If memory serves me correctly. But now, and Julian was talking about false breaks, that looks very much like a potential false break to me. Now, I guess on an ordinary and uncomplicated basis, I would simply put an entry above that bar and put my stop loss below it. Had I done that, I'd be in a world of pain now. So I think it needs to be a little bit clearer to me that this is indeed a false break. That would probably take place with a break of something like this trend line, I guess, and certainly, pardon me, the horizontal level more succinctly or definitely than that. If I were to see a big bull bar come up and then get a pullback, I think that would be the time that I'd look to trade Euro Swissy long. But it's not there just yet. Weekly chart is looking game changer, as I call them, where we've had a higher high than the previous week and we've closed on or near the low. That's suggesting there's going to be a little bit of downside in the upcoming week. That's entirely possible. I think I'll be staying out of that for now and waiting for price to consolidate above this level, which is around about the 103 mark, then pull back to it, maybe give us an entry that way. On the same theme as we're at strong resistance or support, this seems to have broken same. Pound yen. Now, Julian was speaking about pound yen. I want to go back and have a look at that and analyze exactly what he was saying. But to me, this looks very much like it's on its way, and I can't jump in right now. But last week's bar, again, is the game changer bar, which suggests, again, that there'll be some downside before anything else happens. Look, I can see that there could be a false break of this breakout pattern, no question. It doesn't look like that, I've got to say, on the bigger picture. But on the smaller weekly time frame, other than the monthly versus the monthly, this does look like it's potentially broken out of this range. And as we all know, a lot of these range breaks are false, and this could well be one of them. I don't want to jump into it, I've got to tell you. But if this is a false break, then potentially there's the point at which this will become a false break. And is there enough room to get some money out of that if you take a big stop loss? Answer no. But if it does come back into this range, then a lower high might be an interesting ploy. Kiwi yen is also a game changer bar, and exactly the same chart really at the end of the day. The breakout from this level has been very, very strong. Didn't last at the 87 mark for too long, has come back. I can't trade this. It's one of those things I call NLNS, which means no long, no short. I need to see more information. And the game changer bar, therefore, doesn't make sense to me. The game changer bar doesn't appear on dollar CAD, but it is one that's interesting to me this week. The reason is that we're at the bottom of this range. We've also got the potential for this to be another higher low, and I know there are quite a few sitting there, but the range is clear to me, and we're at the bottom of that. And if I can find a way into this to trade it back up to the top of that range in the first instance, maybe as a breakout, hanging on to a little bit of the position, if I take it, then that would make sense to me as well. The two I'm most interested in for the week, however, have GBP in front of them, and I think Julian was talking about it as well. Look, the pound is oversold at this point. as far as I can see. And I'm sure you'd agree with that. What is this, the weekly chart? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 weeks in a row that has sunk to its knees pretty much. At this point in time, if I go a little bit wider onto the monthly chart, you can see this level here is absolutely important, around about the 1.89 mark. And this monthly trend line seems to be a nice confluence area. I'm dead set keen to trade this. Look, I'm not sure if it's going to go long or short, to be fair, but I'll have to wait and see what happens in this vicinity. Definite launch pad for either the short or the long, in my humble opinion. I have been watching it very, very closely over the last few days anyway, certainly into last week, and I'm just waiting for a signal as to whether this is a bounce point or it's going to break and give us more downside. I prefer to think that the strong support level will launch it into a rally, but we'll see on that one. Is exactly the same at a very, very strong support level. I don't know that I'm as keen on this one as I am on pound Kiwi, to be honest, but the level's very, very strong, and I am expecting there'll be a bounce at this point. And we may even have had that on the weekly chart there. We don't see it too clearly, but we've bounced below that 121.25-ish level. I think we can get back up to here with a bit of a rally and put in a higher low. That looks like a trade to me, back up to this level here, or certainly to this level, to get some profit in the bank, and then we can look to go back up to the 124 mark. I think that makes sense to me pretty much, and that's what I'll be looking for in the coming week. So that's my technical overview. That's my 2 cents worth for the upcoming week. Let's hope we can find something in that makes sense and makes